Hello, friends. Hope you're all doing great. Welcome back to my channel. For every overseas Pakistani who dreams of returning home to see the emerald valleys, snow-capped peaks, and crystal blue lakes they've missed for years, this film is for you. Feel free to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You'll find the links in the description below. Our adventure begins in Islamabad, taking the Hazara motorway north before joining the scenic route through Balakot and onward into the vibrant mountain town of Naran. It's both a personal story and a detailed travel guide showing you exactly how we journeyed through Pakistan's northern wonders, so you can follow the same trail or make it your own. Naran itself offers countless attractions for those who wish to explore. Naran offers some of Pakistan's most famous sights, like Saif-ul-Malook, a legendary alpine lake surrounded by snowy peaks, Lalazar Meadows, rolling green fields with breathtaking views, Lulusar Lake, a serene stop on the way to Babusar, Babusar Top, a high-altitude pass, 13,700 feet, with sweeping panoramas of the Himalayas and Karakoram ranges. From Naran, our route climbed steadily to the breathtaking heights of Babusar Top, a lofty mountain pass where icy winds sweep across the ridges and snow patches cling stubbornly to the slopes, even in summer. Crossing over the pass, the road began its long descent into a completely different world. The crisp alpine air gave way to the dry, furnace-like heat of Chillum, a stark contrast that feels almost unreal in the span of a few hours. Here, near the Retracing Bridge, the landscape transforms into rugged, sandy mountains, their golden-brown faces rising from the Indus River Valley, a dramatic prelude to the road ahead toward Gilgit. Along this stretch, travelers can stop at the three mountain ranges' junction point, where the Himalayas, Karakoram, and Hindu Kush ranges meet in one epic panorama. Another possible stop is the Nanga Parbat viewpoint, offering a rare glimpse of the world's ninth highest peak, a sight worth seeing if time allows. In our journey, we continued directly toward Gilgit, the gateway to some of Pakistan's most beautiful valleys. From here, we turned toward Bagrot Valley, a quiet and scenic spot where fertile green fields meet snow-covered peaks. The valley is laced with icy streams and dotted with small, welcoming villages. The road from Gilgit to Datouch Cas, one of the main villages in Bagrot, is fully paved and in excellent condition, accessible for any type of car. However, from Datouch Cas onward to Gusaner, the path turns into a rugged off-road track. If your vehicle has good ground clearance, you can attempt the drive yourself. At Gusaner, accommodation options are limited, but with a bit of planning, you can easily arrange a comfortable place to rest and prepare yourself for the next day's hike. The next part of our journey, as you'll see in the following clip, takes us toward the breathtaking Gargo Meadows, a high-altitude paradise surrounded by dramatic peaks and endless alpine grasslands. Day 2 began at our resort in Gusaner, where we set out in the early morning after a hearty breakfast, refueling ourselves for the adventure ahead. Travel tip. If you're heading for Gargo Meadows, start early in the morning. Pack enough water and carry weather-appropriate gear. Even in summer, the weather can change in minutes. At Gargo Meadows, you're greeted by the breathtaking expanse of the Glacier, resting beside a vast, green, grass-carpeted plateau. All around, towering mountains stand guard, while crystal-clear streams and small fountains weave through the meadow, adding a gentle soundtrack to the scenery. After completing our achievement at Gargo Meadows, we retraced our path back down to Datouch Cas. Here we discovered the Midway Resort Bagrot, a hidden gem with a cozy riverside setting. The soothing sound of the river set the mood as we checked into our room, enjoyed a hearty dinner, and spent the night. Day 3. Early in the morning, we set off towards the legendary Hunza Valley, our destination for the day being the serene Borith Lake. For those beginning their journey from Gilgit, or travelers crafting their own itinerary, this route offers countless attractions worth exploring. Close to Gilgit, you can venture into the enchanting Lalazar Valley, or make a stop at the Rakaposhi viewpoint, where you should definitely try the local delicacy, chop churro. As you enter Hunza, immerse yourself in history at Altit Fort and Baltit Fort in Karimabad. Further along, marvel at the turquoise waters of Astore Lake, cross the thrilling Husseini Suspension Bridge, and enjoy the dramatic Passu Glacier viewpoint. Continue along the scenic Passu Gojal Road to reach the Baltoro Glacier viewpoint. And if time allows, journey to the Khunjarab Pass, the highest paved border crossing between Pakistan and China. And of course, forgive me if I've missed a hidden gem or two. Hunza is full of surprises. From the Karakoram Highway to Borith Lake, the total distance is about 3 kilometers, with only the last 200-300 meters being off-road. The rest is a smooth, paved road. On the way, you'll find a viewpoint offering a stunning look at Shisfair Peak. Borith Lake offers plenty of refreshment spots and several hotels for those wanting to rest or stay overnight. This road also leads to the starting point of the Patundas Trek. Many travelers choose to stay at Borith Lake, recharge, and then begin their trek either the same day or early the next morning, depending on their schedule. From Borith Lake to Patunda's Zero Point, where most travelers park their cars and begin the trek. The distance is about 3 kilometers, entirely on an off-road track. Many visitors choose to drive there themselves, but a sturdy vehicle is recommended. We couldn't complete the full Patundas trek as one of our friends decided to turn back, so instead we made our way to Camp 1. This spot, offering an incredible view of the White Glacier, was absolutely worth the effort. After wrapping up our short trek, we began searching for a place to stay. About 16 kilometers from Patundas Zero Point, where we had parked our car, we came across the Passu Tourist Lodge in Passu Janabad. This lodge is highly recommended for travelers looking to explore the stunning surroundings. They stay. Day 4. Morning. We woke to the breathtaking sight of the Passu cones glowing in the morning light. And then a short drive took us to the Passu Glacier viewpoint, where icy walls shimmered under the clear sky. From the Passu Glacier viewpoint, we continued toward our next planned destination, Miyashiko. Unfortunately, the road ahead was in poor condition and under construction, making the journey impossible. With no choice but to change our plans, we decided to head instead toward Astore. It was a long, demanding drive through winding mountain roads, and by the time we arrived in Astore, night had already fallen. Hungry and tired, we went straight in search of a hotel and a restaurant. After a much-needed dinner, we settled into our rooms, ready to rest before the next day's adventure. A trip to the stunning mini Marg. Day 5. Morning. As planned, we had already booked a jeep from Astore for our journey to Rainbow Lake and back to the hotel. The cost was 26,000 rupees. From experience, I would strongly recommend hiring a jeep directly from Astore rather than from Chillum Choke, as the road conditions along the route are extremely rough and challenging. Astore to Chillum Choke. The distance from Astore to Chillum Choke is about 51 kilometers. Upon arrival, tourists are required to present their identification and register at the checkpoint. The Army grants permission to explore the region until 4:30 p.m., unless you have arranged for an overnight stay. Visitors are allowed to travel in their own vehicles, provided they meet certain conditions. Cars must be at least 2,000 cc, and motorcycles must be 150 cc or above. Alternatively, tourists can also hire a jeep from Chillum Choke to continue their journey deeper into this remote and stunning area. We began our trek through breathtaking landscapes. Along the way, we came across an unknown serene lake, a hidden jewel in the mountains. Soon we ascended to Burzel Top, standing tall at 13,800 feet above sea level. From this high point, the road descended sharply toward Marg. The narrow and rugged track tested both nerves and skill, but the scenery made every moment worth it. As we approached Marg, the landscape transformed into lush green mountains, blanketed with beautiful yellow wildflowers. The first glimpse of Marg village was nothing short of magical. Without a doubt, I realized this was the most beautiful spot of our entire journey. From Marg, we continued our journey until we finally reached the trailhead for Rainbow Lake. Parking our Jeep, we set out on foot to explore this pristine gem. The crystal clear water, surrounded by lush greenery, felt like nature's own masterpiece. After taking in the views and completing this small but rewarding adventure, we made our way back to the Jeep. The return drive brought us back to Astore, where our car was parked at the hotel. Without wasting much time, we set off towards Babusar Top. By evening, we arrived at Bessel and enjoyed a hearty dinner at the Moon restaurant. The day's schedule had been long and exhausting, so our final task was simple. Find a hotel, sink into a warm bed, and let the mountain silence end our day. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps us exploring and bringing more stories from the mountains to you.